All right, Chair Rodriguez, we are now live.
Good afternoon. I'm Chair Tanya Rodriguez, and I would like to welcome you to the September 15th, 2022 Human Relations Commission virtual meeting. We are coming to you live from the Cherokee homelands, where the eastern bound of Cherokee Indians remain a sovereign nation to this day. We will now call our meeting to order. Duties of the Human Relations Commission of Asheville include, but are not limited to, 1, make policy recommendations to the City Council which promote and improve human relations and advance equity in the city. 2, support the city's Office of Equity and Inclusion. 3, provide a forum where residents can raise issues and complaints relating to human relations in the city. 4, engage in the community regarding the utilization of city-funded programs and policies for the promotion of human relations. And 5, promote and improve human relations and advance equity in the following areas: public safety, education, art, cultural opportunities, economic development, health and human services, and housing. All commission members and staff are participating virtually. We appreciate your patience as we conduct our HRCA meetings remotely. We are streaming live on our virtual engagement hub, which is accessible through the virtual engagement hub link on the front page of the city website and also linked on the commission page. We also have the option for the public to listen live by phone by dialing 855-925-2801. Once again, that number is 855-925-2801 and entering meeting code 9723. For those of you who plan to speak during our live public comment today, you will need to hit *3 to be put in the speaker queue. For those of you out there with us today, welcome. I'd like to do roll call, but I believe we're encountering some technical difficulties regarding bringing everybody into the meeting. So Brenda, what's going on in your?
I'm not sure what's happening. You came straight in. May I ask who's on the phone?
It's Susie.
Okay, so Susie, are you calling in? You're calling in, right?
Yes, I have my computer is trying to connect to video, but I just called the number in the email.
Okay, let me just ask.
I can't see y'all.
Okay, let me just ask everybody to call in. I'm not sure what's happening. It let Tanya in. I'm not the owner of the meeting notice, unfortunately, because Elena's out today and she could not change the ownership. So I'm sorry for the trouble.
Hi, Susie. Commissioner Chandler.
Hey, Tanya, what's going on?
Not too much. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, it's taking a little work. I have on my change agent shirt. I'm ready to rep. Nobody can see it.
Okay, y'all, excuse me, y'all are live, so let's just kind of chill.
Heard.
Okay. All right. We are on YouTube, so we're waiting. Just give a few minutes for folks to call in like Susie did, so we can get to establish a quorum for the meeting. So,
okay.
Should I attempt to text like Commissioner Harold or Melanie?
I just text him. I've not heard from anybody. I've not heard from anybody but you and Harvey Dean Harold and Brandon. So I'm gonna resend.
I'm wondering if
I'm gonna resend this email. Let me just resend this email and tell people to call in. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. other than, because Tanya was allowed in, so I'm not sure what's happening. I'm really sorry about that.
Was this a meeting link that was used for like agenda setting or something else?
No,
that was a smaller group?
It's it belongs to Elena, so it's not telling me to let you in. And I thought it was fine because Tanya got in with no trouble, but I don't know what's happening. So
if it's like Zoom, she may be listed as a co-host.
It's not Zoom, it's Google.
Yeah, it's Google, but if it's like that.
Yeah,
And
but
because
she's
a chair,
not
she's listed
here,
as a co-host.
sweetie. She's not here.
Yeah, that makes it really tough.
She's not able to be here. I just heard from Kim Roney and Wayla. Okay. Let me email everybody and just let them know to call in. Where did she text me from? Brandon's getting ready to call in.
Who's 2-9?
No, Brandon's already here.
Hey, Brandon, that's your 2-9?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
All
hello.
right. Sorry about the trouble.
No worries. It happens. Technology.
We're waiting on Councilwoman Roney and Wayla to come in. Let me see if I can get
All right, I just texted a few people too.
Thank you. I'm texting Miss Alma.
Okay.
Did you text Melanie? Miss
Yeah.
Noise? Okay, cool. All right, there's Kim, Miss Roney, Councilwoman Roney. Councilwoman Roney, can you hear me?
Good evening.
Hi.
I can, yes.
Okay. Apologies for the techno stuff. I am not the owner of this meeting, and Elena had an accident, and so we're trying to pitch it a little bit. So it let Tanya in. I'm not sure what happened, but it won't let anybody else in. So we apologize.
Is there a way if Tanya is able to get into the meeting, it's possible that she was shared with the original link. Could she go to the calendar setting and add the HRCA members manually?
It's not her meeting. That's what I'm saying. Google
Right.
recognizes an owner. And until that owner gives me ownership or Tanya ownership, we can't do anything different. That's why I'm sorry about that.
Understood.
All righty.
I'm here, Brenda.
Who is here?
Harvey.
Oh, hey, Harvey. Thank you.
No.
You lost Tanya.
Oh, no. She was on the line.
There she is. She's back. All righty. Tanya, you're back. Can you hear me?
I had to see if I could do that manually, and it just clicked
Let you right in.
me. Yeah, clicked me out of this meeting and then clicked into this. So I got in right away using the
Okay.
calendar link. Yeah.
You now have a quorum. You can begin the meeting, and we'll just see if we have other people show up. Okay.
Commissioner Ronan was trying to get in too.
She's in. Everybody mute yourself. We're starting the meeting. Tanya, are you ready? Go.
I am. All right. So moving on with roll call. I will now go through and introduce all the commission members, staff, and guests who are participating virtually. For our commission members, please make sure to mute your microphone if you are not speaking. When you have a question or would like to speak, click raise hand and when recognized by me or Brenda, please unmute your microphone. Remember to mute your microphone after you are done speaking. Commission members, as I call your name, please say a quick hello. Let's see, quorum of 6 attending. Quorum is 6 today. So, correct?
That is correct. You have 11 members, so you'll need 6. We have 4, I believe. 5.
Okay. I'm here, Tanya Rodriguez, Chair. Vice Chair, Brandon Oliver.
Here.
Welcome. Commissioner Daniel Young. Commissioner Dolores Venable. Commissioner Melanie Noyes Espinoza. Commissioner Harvey Dean Harold.
Here.
Commissioner Crystal Michelle Reed. Commissioner Susie Chandler.
I'm present.
Commissioner Enwena Smith. Commissioner Alma Atkins. And Commissioner Christopher Boyd. All right. It looks like we only have 4 here, Brenda. Do you know?
It is you, Chair Rodriguez, Vice Chair Brandon Oliver. We have Commissioner Chandler, Harvey Dean Harold. You have 4 plus.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
We do not have quorum.
Yeah.
Nuena was in the email and asking about the link. So I did send the link by email. And Dolores also was commenting that she couldn't get in by phone or meet. So,
Well, the phone does work. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to send it to her again.
And as we're sending, we'd like to welcome Kim Roney, our city council liaison, and our city staff member, Brenda Mills. Elena Schmidt is out for this meeting, and Brad Branham is also not here. Do we have legal that's coming? I know that I thought that there was somebody from legal that was going to be here as well.
No, legal. Brad Branham's out of town, and the assistant attorney is booked as well, so they will not be here this evening.
All right, welcome, Brenda and Kim. And thank you, Brenda, for navigating through these technical difficulties. All right. Moving on to group agreements as people filter in. To give us a shared understanding of group norms and to ensure everyone's participating feels heard and valued in the meeting, we will review the group agreements which were created based on the boards and commissions ethics policy. The group agreements are as follows: be civil and courteous, be respectful of differing opinions, be present, no personal attacks. The acronym WAIT, W-A-I-T. Why am I talking? Why aren't I talking? Pursue the common good. Respect and honor the majority decision. Be fair and impartial with votes and discussion. And finally, adhere to the ethics policy. To start commission agenda items, please note for the public and to help our audience follow along, I'll state each section of the agenda aloud. Tanya Rodriguez, Chair. Again, I ask commission members to raise hand to be recognized to speak. Please state your name each time you comment. Just a reminder that the public is listening on the phone, and this keeps everyone up to date on the order of the meeting and who is commenting or speaking. So we still don't have quorum.
Hey, Chairwoman, this is Commissioner Chandler. I'm curious as to how we can indicate that we're raising our hands on the phone. Do we like push a button or?
Commissioner Chandler, you question. I had my hand raised.
Oh, if I could see your hand. Awesome. Who is that?
That's Commissioner Oliver.
Hold on just a second. I will sign in with my phone because I'm not remembering how you do that. But I know that there's a way to raise your hand. I'm going to mute myself.
It makes a little noise when I take myself off mute. Do you hear that on your end?
I do. It
Yes.
just sounds like static.
It sounds like static. Weird. I was going to suggest that like I take myself off mute and go back, then that can be like an indication that I've raised my hand and you can let me know when it's okay to go.
Yeah, that does present a bit of a difficult. Did you see the raise hand, Brenda?
Usually it shows me that. I'm not sure why it looks so different. Somebody from 77 just joined. May I ask who that is? Hello?
Dolores,
Hey,
just got on.
Dolores.
doing well. I hope everyone else is.
We
I've
are.
been trying to get on for a minute, like since like 5:10. I haven't been able to get on.
We understand there's been some technical difficulties, so everybody's calling in. Tanya was the only one who was able to get in. So what we'll need to do is, I think we now have 5 people here. So why don't we move forward with anything that's a discussion that doesn't need a vote? And Miss Alma Atkins is trying to get in as well. and I will give her a call in just a second.
Dolores, this is Brandon Oliver. Hope you're well. Do you happen to know how to raise your hand on a Google Meet when you call in? That's what we were talking about when you came in.
No, I do not. So that would be some great information.
So folks,
Okay.
I'm not sure what's going on with there should be a little information box at the bottom of your phone when you call in. So what we will need to do is if you would like to speak, just ask for the chair and we'll try to figure out who said it first and we'll get you in. How about that?
That works.
Okay. All right. Chair Rodriguez.
All right, so our next item up for business are staff updates, and that's you, Brenda.
Okay, there was a little bit of confusion the other day when I talked to one of the commissioners, and I just wanted to make sure that the HRCA understands that Elena Smith is now your liaison. She's been that since she started with our office back in February. I will still continue to come to the meetings as I'm needed to help support her, needed to do some training around this OBS and getting the streaming going, but she is officially your liaison. Elena could not be here tonight. She actually injured herself over the weekend. So as soon as she's better, I'm going to try to get her to change the ownership of the meeting until she can get back. Hopefully she'll be back before your next meeting. And that's it for me. You've had one more person join. Who's 7-3?
It's Commissioner Smith.
Oh, okay. Hi, Emwana. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you, Ms. Brenda.
All right. We now have a quorum.
Thank you, everybody, for your diligence in calling in today. Welcome, Commissioner Venable. Welcome, Commissioner Smith. So with our quorum, let's get an approval of minutes while we have everybody connected for August 18, 2022 Human Relations Commission meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll
This
make a
is
motion
Commissioner
that we
Chandler.
approve the minutes.
I'll make a second. This is Commissioner Chandler.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, roll call vote. I, Tanya Rodriguez, Brandon Oliver,
Aye.
Vice Chair, Commissioner Dolores Venable,
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey Dean Harrell,
Aye.
Commissioner Susie Chandler,
Yes.
Commissioner Nwena Smith.
Aye.
So moved. Minutes for August 18th, 2022 are approved. Moving on to our next item up for business. New business, discussion and vote on our meeting format and time preferences. Brenda, that's you.
Well, you have unfinished business. Did we skip something?
Unfinished business, pardon me. Unfinished business.
Okay.
Update on proposed changes to ordinance establishing HRCA. That is,
Yep.
that's you.
So that was approved on Tuesday evening at City Council meeting. The Boards and Commissions Committee, which I'm sure Elena has relayed to you, also add Indigenous people onto that list. So those are approved and we will get those back out to you, get the update back out to you and your procedures before next meeting.
Wonderful. Thank you for that update, Brenda. And our next unfinished business is recommendation to add source of income in city-funded housing to city's non-discrimination ordinance. For the HRCA Committee for Addressing Housing Issues. Susie, that's you.
Thank you, Tanya. Thanks everyone who made it in so we have a quorum. This is a collaboration from Daniel and Crystal and I got together about this issue. And we talked a little bit about it in the last meeting, some lively conversation. I'm looking forward to a little bit of discussion. I hope that you had a chance to look at the updated recommendation along with the pre-heading. Today, I'm asking for a vote to the city, a vote on a recommendation to the city council to add source of income to our city's non-discrimination ordinance. Discrimination based on source of income refers to renters who are denied a property when a landlord sets a different application term, a discriminatory application term, and refuses to denies applications or refuses to show a property to tenants who pay with vouchers, child support, alimony, any other forms of payment. That's what source of income is about, is the discrimination based on source of income. And this has been passed by Charlotte City Council last month. They recently banned discrimination in complexes that have received past or current city funding, on which the recommendation that I have made is based. Shall I read the recommendation as it's updated?
Yes, please.
Okay, thanks. I wish that I could share screen so you could see it, but I will read it slowly so that you all have the opportunity to hear what we're suggesting to recommend. Okay, we, the aforementioned members of the Human Relations Commission of Asheville, henceforth known as HRCA, stand in solidarity with the residents of Asheville, who hereby offer a formal recommendation to the Asheville City Council. Whereas the city has the authority, pursuant Section 160A 174 of the North Carolina General Statute, to define, prohibit, regulate, or abate acts, omissions, or conditions detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare of its citizens and the peace and dignity of the city, and may define and abate nuisances. And whereas the city finds the use of discriminatory practices in public accommodations constitutes a nuisance that is detrimental to the health, safety, and welfare of its citizens, and whereas the city finds that it is necessary and proper to prohibit the use of discriminatory practices in public accommodations within the city, we, the aforementioned members of HRCA, strongly recommend that the Asheville City Council swiftly add discrimination on the basis of a person's source of income or funds from landlords in complexes that have received city funding to the list of unlawful discriminatory housing practices in ordinance number 4370, section 10.2G, housing. Source of income means any lawful source of funds paid directly, indirectly, or on behalf of a renter or buyer of real property, including the following: income derived from any lawful profession or occupation, income or rental payments derived from a grant, loan program, state or federal government, or any local government unit, Section 8 voucher, or financial assistance from a private source, including a nonprofit or other non-governmental entity. We, the aforementioned members of HRCA, recommend these amendments be implemented 60 days from today in order to prevent residents from being denied housing based on their source of income, and so that we may all move forward with good faith efforts supported by the peoples of Asheville, members of Asheville City Council, the City of Asheville, and community partners to make the City of Asheville equitable and more inclusive for all. That is the recommendation that I am requesting a vote on tonight.
Thank you, Susie. That sounds fabulous. Any questions or concern? This is Commission Chair Tanya Rodriguez. Any questions or concerns about the recommendation that Susie just read, or Commission Chandler just read?
Madam Chair, may I? This is Dolores. Yeah.
Please. Chair recognizes Commissioner Venable.
Yes, may I?
Please.
Okay, I'm all for that. The only thing that kind of jogs to me is the language in the first sentence. The Human Relations Commission in solidarity. Is there any way we might can change, because, you know, everybody's not in solidarity, but saying that we do represent a satisfaction of working taxpaying citizens of Asheville, we recommend perhaps. That's all.
I totally understand that, Dolores. This is Susie. I totally understand that. The sentence at the top says, we, the members of HRCA, henceforth known as HRCA, stand in solidarity with the residents of Asheville and hereby offer a formal recommendation. So you would like that to just say, henceforth known as HRCA, we offer a formal recommendation to the city of Asheville. You don't want it to say stand in solidarity with the residents?
Yes, Susie. Yes, ma'am, because you're gonna have, because residents are also these same people that are the folks who raise.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
I
I
do.
think
They're the people who are discriminating based on income. That's absolutely. So I have made an amendment to it, changed it. Actually, I just deleted the line. So now it reads, we, the aforementioned members of HRCA, henceforth known as HRCA, hereby offer a formal recommendation to the Asheville City Council, whereas the city has the authority, everything else is the same.
Yes, ma'am.
Does that
Thank you
satisfy?
very much.
Is it?
That does. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a wonderful exchange. Vice Chair Brandon Oliver, you had a requested?
Oh, is my hand raised?
But I heard you jump in earlier.
Oh, no, not me. On mute.
All right. If there are no further questions, comments, or concerns,
Harvey, Tanya.
Commissioner
Merrill.
Harrell, recognizing Commissioner Harvey Harrell.
I believe the way Commissioner Chandler had it written in the beginning was fine in solidarity, because we are supposed to be like joined at the hip in the Human Relations Commission. And, you know, as the things that were written in the statement that Commissioner Chandler read, discrimination in any practices, any form should not be tolerated. And we should stand behind that, because discrimination should not be tolerated. Therefore, we should stand together in solidarity. And that's concerning housing. You know, somebody being put out, not being able to get in a house. I think we can stand behind that. But I just want to express my opinion on that, because I believe when it was first read, it read very nicely. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Harold. I would also, before we take a vote, like to remind my fellow commissioners that last month we had multiple comments from the public that I can read them. I can count them. I can read the names of the people who made comments on them. But I want those to be considered when
Commissioner Chandler,
we're taking a vote.
didn't we shared
Yes,
all those? Commissioner Chandler, this is staff
Yes,
liaison
ma'am.
from the Mills. All of those were shared with the committee by Elena
Okay.
last meeting. So everybody should have gotten those and had all those comments last month. In fact, she sent them out before the meeting.
Uh-huh.
There was at least
And then there
15
were 3
emails.
add-ins. Yeah, there's 16. I hear you say you don't need to read all 16 of those messages.
Well, we typically don't.
Okay, thank you.
We don't read comments, but what I'm saying is they were all sent to everybody just prior to the meeting.
Okay.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you know if we have any other comments regarding
No,
this issue that
not-
should be considered?
Not for this meeting.
Okay.
I would have sent them before the meeting.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, if there are no further comments or concerns regarding this recommendation, I'd like to ask for a motion and a second. Can we get a motion?
motion? But so moved.
Can I get a second?
So let me just
I
make a
second.
little correction. Hold on just a second, folks. Susie, you need to make a motion to approve the recommendation with the amendment that Commissioner Venable asked you to change.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
Brenda.
thank you, ma'am.
Okay. I move to take a vote on the recommendation with the amendment that I just as read.
I move the second.
All right, roll call vote on the amendment. Tanya Rodriguez, Chair? Yes. Commission Chair, Vice Chair, Brandon Oliver?
Yes.
Commissioner Dolores Venable?
Yes.
Commissioner Harvey Dean Harold?
Yes.
Commissioner Susie Chandler?
Yes, please.
Commissioner Enwena Smith?
Yes.
And who just joined us with 5-6?
Alma.
Hi.
Commissioner Alma Atkins.
We are making a vote to. Okay. So moved. Recommendation. The changes to the recommendations have been approved. Moving forward to approving the recommendation outright to City Council. Recommendation of source of income and city-funded housing to the city's non-discrimination ordinance as brought by the HRCA Committee for Addressing Housing Issues. Can I get a motion to approve?
We just voted on
I'm
that.
confused about what.
I thought that we were voting on the amendment and not the recommendation itself. So this first one was the
No, we-
amendment and the second one was the amendment recommendation itself.
No, you've already done that. She made a motion to approve the recommendation with the amendment.
With the amendment.
Yes, ma'am.
My apologies.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It's a little crazy today.
Hey, Mercury retrograde in full effect. Susie, congratulations. Congratulations to the committee for addressing housing issues. We look forward to seeing City Council's response to that. Councilwoman Rooney, what is the procedure now that this recommendation has been passed?
So, Councilwoman Roney here as your liaison. I will, as usual, send a liaison report with any and all recommendations made in this meeting. I will copy the council members individually and all the members of the HRCA as so that you can have receipt of the recommendation being passed along. That would include this recommendation and any others made during this meeting.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Councilwoman. Are there any suggestions for Susie and the housing, the Committee for Addressing Housing Issues to bring in a more attention to this recommendation? Maybe do you encourage sending this recommendation to all members of City Council as well as you sending out this email?
So my procedure for the report that I use is that I email all members of council and the city manager whenever any advisory board that I'm a liaison of makes a recommendation of any kind. So each one of you will be copied on an email to each one of the members of City Council regarding this and all recommendations made on this meeting. A follow-up would be surely imagine welcome from any of the council members or the mayor's office. But I would guess that because the non-discrimination ordinance also went through the governance committee, you might also follow up with members of the governance committee to ask them to take up this matter.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, Councilwoman. Really appreciate that. Moving on to our next item up for business, community announcements. Any,
We have one more item.
one more item. Oh,
We have
new
two more
business.
items. We need a discussion on the vote on meeting format and.
Right. New
Um,
business, discussion
mhm.
and vote on meeting format and time preferences. Brenda, that's you.
So basically, council approved on Tuesday. All quasi judicial boards, are meeting in person. And city council is meeting in person. So if you attend any of those meetings, you have to go in person in order to make public comment. Council committees will remain virtual for now. And advisory boards automatically next month go to in person unless there's a 67% or 2/3 majority of you that vote to remain virtual. Now, what happens is whether you remain in person or virtual, you have to remain in that format for a year. So whatever you decide tonight to do, you have to remain that way for the next year. So I want to know your pleasure or any discussion, or if I can answer any questions, I will be glad to.
I imagine that virtual is a way for people that may not have transport to the meeting or are working, have a difficult time attending, or accessibility and things like that. I remember a few years ago we were addressing accessibility to the meeting for people that were having a hard time coming to the in-person meetings. And so holding them virtual is an answer to making sure that there is accessibility to these meetings. I know there's an in-person, excitement to having commission meetings and all of the things that go along with it. I also understand how difficult it can be for people who don't have transportation and have to rely on public transport or getting rides to the meeting. So I just wanted to express that accessibility is an issue with in-person meetings.
And additionally, the council agreed to approve looking into hybrid meetings, but just do understand that if you go back in person, these will not be streamed at this time. So if someone wants to comment on your meeting, they have to attend the meeting.
Can someone please advise if there's childcare?
No childcare that I know, no. Mm-mm.
Okay, thank you for that.
Will we,
May I?
go ahead and wait?
It was
This
Councilman.
is Kim. I was just asking to raise my hand.
Councilwoman?
One of the additions that we added to the recommendation and the language last Tuesday at our meeting was to prioritize hybrid meetings as well as either an audio or video archive of the meeting. We do acknowledge there will be staff capacity around that. And also acknowledge that not everyone will be able to make that change to their schedule because of the many limitations. So I just want to let you know that we do acknowledge the need to prioritize accessibility, but also that hybrid meetings can improve accessibility.
Is hybrid also on the choice? So it's either in person, virtual, or hybrid?
No. it's
Not
in
at this
person.
time. Right now, right. At this
It's either
time, the
in-person
options
or
are in person or virtual.
So no matter what decision is made, when hybrid becomes a choice, is that applicable to shift from whichever choice into hybrid?
Absolutely. But as Councilman Roney stated, it's a staff capacity issue. Because what we would have to do is set up a room for you to meet. We also have to set up for virtual, and so it's a lot. And you meet every month times 20 boards. So that's a lot. Now, we were streaming the council committees, and they're working on some options for that. But for right now, it's either in person or virtual. So I'd like for everybody to weigh in if that would be okay, Chair Rodriguez.
Absolutely. What say you, Brandon?
You may have to repeat because there was a noise.
What say you, Vice Chair Brandon Oliver? I don't hear.
We'll move on.
All right. How about Commissioner Dolores Venable?
My opinion is when we signed up for this, and I'm thinking we have to think about a pre-COVID world also, because we have to get past the pandemic. Because if we don't, our communities and our cities will suffer. And before we signed up for this pre-pandemic, everything was in person. And I think as a board, we do get a lot more work and camaraderie when we are in person and we can hear each other's ideas and be face to face. And it creates a different type of atmosphere than virtual meetings do. And I just think that when we signed up for this, you had to take into account that everything was not going to be virtual always. And even though we live in the age of technology, we don't live in a digital world. You know, you have to be out here meeting people and talking to people and doing things. So if we can do that individually, I think that maybe we can make this a little bit of time as a board to do that. That's my opinion. Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Harvey Harold?
Virtual.
All right. Thank you. Commissioner Chandler?
Thank you. I, as a Huggy extrovert, I absolutely agree with Dolores. I love meeting in person. However, the timing of this meeting is prohibitive for me to meet in person because of our children, our small children that go to bed between 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So it would be really, really challenging. I would say rather say virtual.
Commissioner Duane Smith?
Yeah. Excuse me. I would also like to weigh in on this just for a second. The virtual has been good for me, but the time has been hard. 5:30 and 5 o'clock meetings are hard for me because I'm still working on a job, but I like virtual because even if I am working, I can click in. So that's my way in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Commissioner Enwena Smith?
This is Commissioner Smith. I also, too, the time is difficult for me. I get off work at 5, but I just Zoom home to be on virtual. I prefer virtual, but if we have to do person, I would be in person. I will. I have 2 small children, also a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, so virtual works the best for me.
All right. So that would give us...
Brandon Oliver can hear you now.
All right. Brandon, would you like to weigh in on this?
I love in person. I love people. I love the energy, and I think we get so much more accomplished. Virtual has turned out to be something that has been helpful for people, no matter where you're at, so that you can log in. I would prefer in person, but if it's virtual, I don't have any problems with that.
So right. That is 6 virtual votes.
Madam Chair, may I ask a question?
Please.
And this question is at Liaison Roney. Councilwoman Roney, I'm wondering also, over time, along with what you said, what is going to probably be the ultimate result in the next year or so? Is this something that council is going to revisit in a year? Or is this something that is going to probably move forward anyway?
That's a good question. I know the reason that we made the policy is so that we have more flexibility of options. And that's one of the reasons why we're asking our advisory boards to weigh in on what's best for them. I would certainly say that that comes from a place of appreciation for the efforts that all of our volunteers bring to the table. I couldn't know the answer, and I wouldn't pretend to know what will happen exactly in the next year. I think when I made the motion adding the preference to prioritize hybrid meetings, it's imagining that we both can do work really well together and that not everyone will be able to participate all the time in person. So I'm kind of hearing that here in this conversation, and I would love to know what support looks like as your liaison so that you can meet the needs of everyone sitting around this table in the way that they can continue to sit around this table. I wouldn't lose someone because we made a decision that made it hard for you to gather.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I asked the question. I'm sorry if I did interject. I just wanted to say also that maybe perhaps giving bus passes to those folks who are on boards who don't have adequate transportation could be one way to be able to bypass that measure, because I do understand that transportation is a major issue for a lot of folks in some areas that might want to be on boards or commissions but don't necessarily live or have transportation of their own to be able to enhance that desire. Also, maybe something that can be looked at also is looking at how to antiquate some of the other things down the line maybe city council can do to be able to make things more accessible in this transition that we're all seeing in the world, but we just can't all, you know what I'm saying? Like stay where we're at. So I do want to see more of, and just for me, I do want to see more in-person meetings, but that's why I asked you that question is like maybe some bus passes being given to people without transportation might be something that city council might be able to look at, or have they looked at that measure? Thank you.
Councilwoman, bus passes were issued at the top of the year. So if there are new members who are interested in the bus pass, they just need to get with me or Elena.
Oh yeah, I was just saying like throughout other boards and commissions that might be pondering the same question, you know what I'm saying? I was just want to talk about, I'm so sorry, I should have clarified my statement. But yes, absolutely, and we're fortunate to have those. But I think that might be an issue that other people are looking at, like maybe transportation here and there, because a lot of people have ditched their cars because it's expensive. So I was just saying that. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. So how would you like to proceed with this, Brenda?
You need to take a roll call vote, please. And then must be yes.
All right. So roll call vote in.
Point of order, if I might, has someone made a motion on this decision since it does affect you for the whole year?
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Rooney. A motion, making a motion for voting on meeting format. And what is, before we make this motion, can you clarify time preferences, Brenda?
I'm not sure why that was there, so just ignore that. Okay. You're not changing your time, you're just changing your format. Sorry.
Okay.
And the motion, whoever makes the motion can make a motion either way for in-person or virtual.
Heard.
So do one or the other.
Heard. Thank you very much. All right. So motion on voting on meeting format for virtual. Commission Chair Brandon Oliver.
Did you take that was you making a motion?
Make a motion, yeah. Can I get a second?
I second it.
All right, Commission Chair Brandon Oliver.
Yes.
All right, Chair Tanya Rodriguez, yes. Commissioner Dolores Venable,
No.
Commissioner Harvey Dean Harrell,
Yes for virtual.
Commissioner Susie Chandler,
Yes.
Commissioner Enwena Smith,
Yes, for virtual.
and Commissioner Alma Atkins, if she's with us.
She's there.
Virtual. Yeah. Virtual. I vote for virtual.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right, motion approved. We will be virtual for the next year and exploring hybrid, just in case hybrid comes in. Councilwoman Rooney will keep us updated on that. So that's wonderful. Thank you very much, everybody. All right, moving on to community.
Commissioner Atkins, can you mute yourself? Commissioner Atkins, can you mute yourself? I think when she mutes herself, she hits the leave button, so she'll be back.
You'll be back. All right, moving on to the next item up for business, community announcements, events.
Tanya, dear, you forgot your committee update. You need to see if there's any committee that would like to give an update. If not, we can move on to community announcements, definitely. Is it not on your script?
No, it's not.
All right.
Any committee updates?
The Affordable Housing Committee would like to update that we passed a recommendation for the City Council.
All right.
If it's helpful, I could read them here. The first one is intergovernmental relations.
Yep, got him. All right. Thank you very much, Councilwoman Rooney. Intergovernment relations update. That's Brandon and I. We have not met yet, so nothing to report. Community engagement.
As Commissioner Harrell, nothing at this time.
Thank you, Commissioner. Housing addressing issues.
This is Commissioner Chandler. Just as previously stated, the recommendation we've been working on passed.
Thank you very much. Examining systems.
Nothing at this time to report.
Thank you. And improving HRCA. And nothing to report for improving HRCA. Moving on to our next item up for business. Let's see, community announcements. We're there.
We're there.
We're there. Community announcements, events, engagements, and anything that are of interest to the HRCA and the city of Asheville. Are there any community announcements our commissioners would like to share with the residents of Asheville?
Yes, Commissioner Harrell.
Please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you are recognized.
Okay, thank you. This is from the Asheville Parks and Recreation Fall 2022 program. There's 379 plus opportunities for you. This is for each and every one of us and children all over. Opportunities for pickleball clinics, cornhole tournaments, festival of fright, roller skate nights, indoor rock climbing, Youth and Adult Sport Leagues, Hispanic Heritage Month, Square Tap, Line and African Dance, Art, Woodworking, Weaving and Sculpting, and the Asheville Parks and Recreation have so much more. It's a fresh start, new beginnings. There's a free fitness center memberships through June of 2023. And to register for and attend any of these activities to receive a free limited edition Asheville Parks and Recreation sticker. And they want you to show your support for your local parks, community centers, and recreation programs by displaying it with pride on your bike, vehicle, or water bottle. And that's it for me from Asheville Parks and Recreation. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Harold. Are there any other announcements?
Chairwoman, I would like to make an announcement, not necessarily a community, but of a personal nature.
Please.
Oh, thank you. Thank you all for your collaborative discussion tonight and getting a recommendation passed so that we can move forward as a group of community. I have made a decision to resign from the commission and have really learned a lot from each of you. My resignation will be effective tomorrow, but I wanted to say thank you for the lessons learned from each of you, and for the time that I spent on my nearly 2-year term, which would have been up in January. But I wanted to say that openly that my intentions were not fulfilled, and so I'm going to serve in some other effective ways. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Susie, for your service. It was a joy to serve with you, and you'll be missed greatly in this commission. Commissioner Venable?
May I? Thank you. Susie, I hate to see you go. I'm kind of conflicted now.
You too, Dolores.
I'm going to miss you, but I'm also kind of conflicted because I wish you would have said this before you make this record. Because you said, your deal here is done. And, oh, my God, girl, like, it's a lot we can do out here. But when you say stuff like that, it makes me kind of feel bad about voting on something because you're not here because this is something you spearheaded. So can I ask what can influence you to stay?
What a powerful question. What could influence me to stay? It's such a powerful question.
And may I interject one more thing? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But it's just, we just voted on a recommendation that you presented wholeheartedly to the board, and now you're leaving. And it's kind of like, I don't want to, I hate for this to be the tone that's set within this board. Once something gets done, people just walk away.
That's completely fair, and I agree with you. That's not ideal. My plan was in advance to resign, whether or not it passed. But I enjoyed being able to collaborate a little bit and get something that felt good to everyone. I'm absolutely stunned that it was a unanimous vote. And I was fully prepared for it to fail today. So that feels like a win for us as a group. I don't believe we've had, other than passing minutes, I don't believe we've had a unanimous vote on anything. But that was my intention because of Dolores, you know me, my personality is very out there and blunt, and I like to make things happen. And I'm not a politician. I don't do a lot of, I don't know. I want to affect change, and this is on a recorded line, and I hesitate to say I don't feel like this is the best place that I can affect change. I thought it may be being an advocate, an equity advocate, that this might work, but it's not what I feel is best for me. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely, it absolutely does. I respect your honesty. Thank you for your response.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
I'd like to call
And sad to see you go, but I as a person appreciate the correlation that we've had with each other and the work that we've done and your work on the board. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dolores.
All right, thank you. Just a gentle point of order, reminding everybody we are in community events. Are there any further community events that would like to be announced at this time?
This is Councilwoman Roney, if I might raise my hand.
Yes, please. Councilwoman?
There will be a community event on September 24th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and it is Blue Ridge Pride Festival. It will be downtown Impact Square. Once again, that's next Saturday, September 4th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. As with Blue Ridge Pride festivals in the past, there will be vendors, sponsors, entertainers, and a welcoming WNC procession.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Rooney. Are there any other community events to be announced? If not, moving on to our next item up for business, live public comment. Do we have any public comments or anybody in the queue?
Madam Chair, we do not have any public, anyone live to speak tonight.
All right, so for our future agenda items, moving on to our next item up for business, we have our future agenda items, training in city mandated equity and inclusion process, future staff presentation. We have accountability pipeline for complaints process for City of Asheville for resident complaints. That's a future staff presentation. We have creation of volunteer mentorship program to support returning citizens. That is also a future staff presentation. Public safety, future staff presentation. Fair and equitable housing planning, that is planning committee work. Looking forward to that. And environmental climate concerns, which is also a future staff presentation. Also to note, we do have important documents and resources located on the agenda in the Human Relations Commission page in the City of Asheville website. It is time to adjourn. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your service, Susie. Thank you for this conversation. And thank you all to the City of Asheville for being here tonight. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Councilwoman Rooney, and thank you everybody for navigating the technical difficulties this evening. Have a good night. We'll see you next month and keep it real, everybody. Meeting adjourned.
Thanks. Good night.